All right, so moving on to the final segment, I'll be sharing my WrestleMania pay-per-view prediction. So as I record this segment on this Sunday night, WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 has not been announced. So bear with me here. I'll be giving all 12 of the WrestleMania predictions that are all for my predictions for all 12 of the WrestleMania matches that have officially been announced. I don't think there are going to be any more additions to this card. Maybe the Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross feud, but these are all 12 of the match predictions that I would be sharing for this year's WrestleMania. So starting off with the tag team ladder match, you will have Damian Priest and Finn Balor defend their undisputed tag team titles against the Awesome Truth, the New Day, Austin Theory, the tag team of Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, the tag team of Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, and DIY in a huge 12-man tag team match for the undisputed tag team titles being on the line. So it's been a while since we've seen a WrestleMania ladder match at WrestleMania. I really miss those days of having yearly Money in the Bank ladder matches. I think that's one thing WWE needs to go back to. Just scrap the Money in the Bank pay-per-view pay-per-view. Go back to having it at WrestleMania. That will bring more prestige and honor to the Money in the Bank briefcase. But yes, it's been years since we had a WrestleMania ladder match. Actually, dating all the way back to the last ladder match we had was back at WrestleMania in 2017 when the Hardy Boys actually came back to have being the part of the ladder match. That was the last ladder match we saw at WrestleMania. But as I digress, getting into this ladder match, I do believe that all 12 of these wrestlers will make the ladder match very entertaining. You have the best tag teams in the company in this match, and I think it's going to be a fun match. But this is my catch with this match. I think we're possibly going to have two winners here. Now, hear me out. What I can see happening is because the WWE knows the tag team division is stacked from top to bottom on both respective brands. They got to do something unique to split the titles. So instead of doing a title split on a Raw or SmackDown episode, you're going to see a title split here. I could see this match having two winners. And I can see R-Truth bringing down the Raw tag team titles with Grayson Waller, Austin Theory bringing down the other tag team titles, the SmackDown tag team titles. So I think we're going to see two winners here. And I think that's how we're going to get an official split of the tag team titles. Be aware that we could see two winners in this match. So the next match, you have AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Now looking at this match, looking at AJ Styles' resume, AJ Styles has put together a great WrestleMania resume over the years. You look at his entire WrestleMania resume of the wrestlers that he's faced at WrestleMania. He faced Chris Jericho, Shane McMahon, which stole the show at WrestleMania back in 2017, WrestleMania 33. That match was himself, and Shane McMahon was not supposed to be that good. He faced Shinsuke Nakamura, Randy Orton, gave The Undertaker his final match in that Boneyard match. He teamed up with Omos to take on one of the greatest tag teams in WWE history in the New Day, and faced Edge. But he was not a part of last year's WrestleMania due to the fact of being out with a broken ankle. But man, that man has faced some elite caliber wrestlers on the grandest stage of them all. But then you have AJ Styles, who knows what to do on the grandest stage of them all. Then you have LA Knight, who has been the megastar that WWE needs for sake of the future. LA Knight has been that guy. He's got the megastar running all over him. He can wrestle. He can compete. He can cut a promo in a matter of 60 seconds. The man can do it all. He has megastar written all over him. So with that being said, I do believe it's going to be a good match between AJ Styles and LA Knight. I think LA Knight is going to get his moment, but getting his hand raised, defeating AJ Styles on the grandest stage of them all, giving him his biggest victory up to date in the WWE. So then we're back to Bloodline battle. We have Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso. You have the two twin brothers wrestling against each other. This will be the first time in 15 years on the grandest stage of them all in WrestleMania that we've seen brothers wrestle each other at the grandest stage of them all. Dating all the way back to the 90s where Bret Hart and Owen Hart faced each other at WrestleMania. Then you had Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys, facing off against each other in singles competition at WrestleMania 25. 15 years later, you now get Jimmy versus Jey Uso on the grandest stage of them all. The story has been great over the last year. You have Jey Uso looking out for his brother, exiting the Bloodline. You had the Bloodline war during the summer of the Usos versus Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Who could ever forget that classic Money in the Bank tag team match from last year? And over the last few years, you've really seen Jimmy Uso cost his brother Jey Uso multiple titles and multiple championship matches. Going back to a SmackDown episode during the summer, he costed his brother accidentally, losing to Austin Theory for the United States title. SummerSlam costed himself against Roman Reigns at a WWE Undisputed Championship match. Then costed his brother Jay when he faced Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. So this feud has been great to me. The storyline has been great to me. But here's the deal. What they got to do at WrestleMania, they can't have them have a normal match. They got to have a stipulation of this because they are twin brothers. And let's call a spade and call it what it is. They both had the same wrestling. They both had the same wrestling repertoire. They both use the same moves. So a singles match ain't going to do it to me. They got to have a Philly street fight or anything goes, a no-hold-barred match at WrestleMania with potentially, let's throw your father in there, Rikishi, to be the special guest referee. I think that's something they got to do within the next few days to play the story out. But I'm going to go with Jey Uso to defeat his brother Jimmy Uso on the grandest stage of all at WrestleMania. So then we get into the next match. We have Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton, a triple threat match for the United States title. I like this story of how this is going. Both Randy Orton and Kevin Owens want to rip Logan Paul's head off. You have basically two separate feuds in one heading to this triple threat match. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens are buddy-buddy. They're allies. They really don't want to hurt each other. They just want the same common goal. Win the United States Championship and take off Logan Paul's head. And that's exactly the collision course that we're heading on for this triple threat match heading into WrestleMania. So with that being said, I could see some interesting spots in this match. Maybe an appearance from KSI. Taking another RKO by Randy Orton, but I'm going to go with Logan Paul to successfully retain his United States Championship against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens on the grandest stage of them all. Then, the next match, you have Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I really wish that instead of Sami Zayn getting this WrestleMania opportunity, I really wish that it was Chad Gable getting this opportunity because the story and the match was better for Chad Gable versus Gunther than what it is for Sami Zayn versus Gunther at WrestleMania. The story was just there, and that was the right man, in my opinion, to dethrone Gunther for that Intercontinental Championship was Chad Gable. So definitely Sami Zayn was not the right decision for that. I'm not sure why they had Sami Zayn lose to Bronson Reed this past Monday on Monday Night Raw, but I guess it was to build Sami Zayn for being the underdog heading into the Intercontinental Championship match against Gunther. Him questioning, can he really get the job done against Gunther and be the one to dethrone him for that Intercontinental Championship. But with that being said, I do believe that this could end up being one of the best matches on the entire card. But I'm going to go with Gunther to successfully retain his Intercontinental Championship against Sami Zayn and continue his historic Intercontinental Championship reign. Now, the main event of night one that we already know, you have Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins taking on The Rock and Roman Reigns in that huge tag team match. This has the potential to go down as the biggest tag team match in WrestleMania because you have 4 Hall of Fame stars all in one tag team match. You have the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, who could be the next face of the company for years. You have Seth freaking Rollins, Roman Reigns, The Rock. They're all going to go down as legends, all-time greats, and Hall of Famers. So The Rock during this heel run has been absolutely great. He's actually sold this story more than Roman Reigns in this build up to WrestleMania. It kind of feels like we're on a collision course of having The Rock versus Cody Rhodes one-on-one instead of Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns on night 2. That's how well The Rock has done. He's cut some great fire promos as a heel. You see, he's still got the ick. He's still got it all in the world of sports entertainment. But I do believe that The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to win this tag team match. I do believe that we're going to see some beef going on between the two respective tag teams. The two teams not getting on the same page at times in this match, with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins not getting on the same page, The Rock and Roman Reigns not getting on the same page. So I do believe we're going to see that in that match, but I do believe that Roman Reigns and The Rock will win this tag team match on the main event of night 1. So then the next match, on the card. You have Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. They're going to be taking on Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar in a tag team match. I like this. I like that every part of this match. It doesn't feel like a filler between the four respective wrestlers. I do believe that this was a great addition to the WrestleMania card. It continues the feud that Rey Mysterio has with Santos Escobar. It continues the feud that we seen last year between Rey Mysterio and his son Dominic Mysterio. So I think this is going to be a great feud. But evidently, I do believe that this should be a fast-paced WrestleMania match because you have four talented wrestlers all going up against four respective wrestlers in this tag team match that are very good. But I do believe that there's going to be a catch to this match. I got Carlito turning his back on Rey Mysterio. I do believe that Carlito is not going to be happy that Rey Mysterio picked Dragon Lee over Carlito to be his tag team partner for this match. So don't be surprised if we see a backstabber with Rey Mysterio being costed by the match, with Carlito possibly joining Santos Escobar's side for the sake of the future. I have Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar winning this match. So the next match, you have Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship. Now, I do believe that this match could absolutely steal the show for the entire WrestleMania card. What these two bring to the table on the grandest stage of them all. Now, Becky Lynch has done a great job of the last few weeks establishing herself as the main event star that we all know her to be. She won the Women's Elimination Chamber. She beat Liv Morgan and beat Nia Jax on the road to WrestleMania. So, me personally, I'm enjoying Rhea Ripley's world title reign. She's done it all. She's brought credibility to that women's world title. It should be a hard-hitting match that has a lot of storytelling to it. But I do believe that Rhea Ripley will retain her women's world title against Becky Lynch on the grandest stage of them all. I don't think she's ready yet. I think WWE is going to keep that title on her for a very long time. I don't believe she's going to lose that at WrestleMania. I think Rhea Ripley gets another notch to her belt, beating a caliber wrestler like Becky Lynch, like she did to Charlotte Flair last year on WrestleMania weekend. So then the next match, you have Bianca Belair versus Naomi and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control in a 6-woman tag team match. Now, finally, it is great to have Jade Cargill finally have her moment. She's been advertised as a star since joining from WWE, jumping ship from AEW, and has been established as a star, being advertised over the last few months on all three brands, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. And she looked good in her Women's Royal Rumble debut. She looked good, looked like a star, and now is officially on the SmackDown roster. So the story of Bianca Belair and Naomi having problems with Damage Control over the last few weeks makes sense for this 6-woman tag team match. I do believe that Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill will win this 6-woman tag team match. So the next match, you have Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I give Seth Rollins all the credit in the world. He's made that world title mean something and truly feel like the world title over the last few months over Roman Reigns' world title, because Seth Rollins has established that title being the workhorse title in the WWE. He's had some great matches over the last few years, over the last few months with that world title, defeating AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Drew McIntyre over the last few months. But I do believe that all good things come to an end. I do believe it's time for Drew McIntyre to become the World Heavyweight Champion. And give Drew McIntyre all the credit in the world. He stepped up. He used that next man up opportunity to be next in line, taking CM Punk, the injured CM Punk spot, being that guy, selling the match, being one of the greatest heels in the company today. And I do believe that Drew McIntyre is going to get his moment finally in front of a live crowd, hoisting a world title, defeating Seth Rollins in the grand stage of Mall of WrestleMania, become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Now, do not be surprised if we see a Money in the Bank cash-in moments after this match with Damian Priest cashing in on Drew McIntyre. I see a cash-in happening, whether it's successful or not, on Drew McIntyre, whether it's WrestleMania or the Raw after WrestleMania. But Drew is going to beat Seth Rollins to get his moment to become the World Heavyweight Champion. So the next match, you have Io Sky versus Bayley for the Women's World Title. Now, the story has been great between the two respective wrestlers. You have Bayley losing control over Damage Control over the last few months, with Asuka joining the group, Kairi Sane returning back to the WWE, and everyone winning championship gold. Io Sky has the Women's World Title. The Kabuki Warriors have the women's tag team title. So Bayley was without a title, with Dakota Kai being the new mouthpiece of the group. They kicked her out, and the story has been great, with Bayley trying to beat her former best friend and Io Sky for the women's world title. So I do believe this will be a good, entertaining match. And I do believe that we're going to see the 6 respective woman I just said a few moments ago that would be a part of the 6-woman tag match interfere in this match. But I do believe Bayley will become the new women's world champion, defeating Io Sky at WrestleMania. So then brings us to the main event of night 2. You have Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. If you love cinemas, get ready, because we are in for one hell of a match. And I do believe they're going to top off the first match that they had last year at WrestleMania. And it's going to be an absolute cinema. Get your popcorn ready, because Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes Part 2 is going to be special. Something that you're always going to remember when you think about all-time great matches at WrestleMania. But this is my honest opinion on the match. I need the most overbooked match in WrestleMania history for this match between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Now, hear me out. Here's why. Because you need Cody Rhodes desperately to finish his story. Let's get this to be the overbooked, one of the most overbooked matches in wrestling history. You have the Bloodline interfere in this match. You can have The Rock, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa interfere in this match. Cody Rhodes gets his help of Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, and brings out John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin to have his back. Them battling with the Bloodline. Give me the Avengers Endgame vibes to this championship match between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. It needs to be overbooked. It needs to be an absolute cinema. And we need Cody Rhodes to finish his story to become the new WWE Universal Undisputed Champion in the world of wrestling. It needs to happen. He deserves it. The man is ready to be the face of the company from here on out. And if we don't get Cody Rhodes winning this match, who is really ever going to be the man to dethrone Roman Reigns? You all can say The Rock, but it does not make sense. The story presents itself. Cody Rhodes needs this win, and he has to finish the story. I have Cody Rhodes defeating Roman Reigns, ending that long, historic championship reign to become the new WWE Universal Undisputed Champion. But those are my WrestleMania predictions, all 12 of the matches. That is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.